Hey there folks, thanks for tuning into another brand new video. Today we have something I'm super proud and super happy to be doing today. I'm doing a unboxing and quick review of some 3D printed Star Wars props presented by CraftyNerdDesigns. Crafty Nerd reached out to me on Facebook a few weeks ago and mentioned how they love my videos, they want to send me some products to review, and I was more than happy to oblige to work together with them and pick and choose a few pieces. I didn't want to pick too many because they were sending these as compliments for the video review and exchange, but I am more than happy to give my full honest thoughts as I always do. These are pieces that were designed from other creators, but Crafty Nerd Design did print them. They have quite a few items already in their shop, and if you watch the entire video you will get a special discount code exclusive to my followers, good for 20% off. I will leave that in the bottom with the shop link, as well as the links to the other creators who helped design these pieces. And Crafty Nerd has lightsabers, blasters, masks, mugs, just about anything and everything you can think of, and some things that you wouldn't always think of right off the bat. And they even mentioned how they were willing to work with me if I have any other ideas for like lightsaber stands or just any type of 3D printed possibility. So let's get right to it. This will be a two-part video. The first will be just taking a look at the items and kind of putting them, piecing them together. And the second part will be my attempt at painting them. I have never painted 3D props before. I do have another prop that I haven't shown yet, but the weather in my area has been horrible. It's been non-stop wind for months and months, and even though COVID is starting to lighten up and things are opening up, I don't have like a shed or work area. I just have a balcony and open spaces that I don't want to paint or do anything because it's just been so windy. So hopefully that wind dies down soon and I can get all the paints and supplies to get these painted and make them look complete. As you can see, the one lightsaber that is standing out in the box is Ki-Adi-Mundi's lightsaber. Let me go ahead and show that off. This thing was printed beautifully. I mean, the attention to detail from both the artist, well actually they're both artists, but the designing artist and the printing artist, in this case Crafty Nerd Designs, were fantastic. And I don't have Ki-Adi-Mundi's lightsaber. He is one of those Jedi who I feel he is such an underrated character, an underused character throughout not only the Clone Wars, but especially the movies. We have, maybe 2 or 3 lines from him and a few action moments, but that's about it. But his lightsaber, it's fairly simple. I just had to get something as a memento to him because I do love that character so much. And overall, it is a very clean print. Crafty Nerd does a great job at cleaning up everything to make it as functionable as possible for you to paint it. And essentially, I'm not sure if you need to sand this. I do need to watch some tutorials on painting PLA. These are printed in PLA plastic, but I need to figure out what exactly I need to do to get this painted. But overall, it looks pretty darn good. You can see all the layers from the printing. And you do get an option of a gunmetal or a shiny silver metal look. I went with the more shiny look. I guess I'm going to paint it anyway, but I'm sure there might be some areas and spaces that will be left exposed or not the same paint that might benefit from the shiny metal look here. And unlike a lot of lightsabers we see, you can actually hold this in your hand and probably duel with it well, not have to worry about anything getting in the way. And it does fit in my grip pretty nicely. I can wrap my fingers all the way around as well. These are not electronically compatible, like you can't install it essentially like a NeoPixel or anything like that. I'm not sure, I might have forgotten if Crafty Nerd said they're going to work on designs to be able to install, but you know what, that's fine. I'm not one who needs to have every lightsaber installed with electronics. I just love a good display piece, and so far this is a pretty badass looking lightsaber that I'm really happy to have, and I can't wait to add all the paints and details to it. You can see the what we would call, I guess, the blade plug, where you would install the blade, but the ignition area right there, or the lightsaber blade area, I should say. We got the ignition switch here, and I'm assuming the belt clip, and of course a few other knobs and buttons that we don't exactly know. Of course, Jedi can extend their lightsaber, make it shorter, and turn it on, turn it off, everything. But yeah, everything is there. It's designed beautifully. and looks good. And it is pretty lightweight. I mean, maybe 6 or 7 ounces, and not even a pound. Well, maybe, I don't know, I did some weightlifting today, so it might feel a little bit lighter. Maybe, I'm gonna say 8 ounces. It feels probably about 8 ounces. And you know what, that was gonna annoy me, so I just went ahead and grabbed my scale. I should have just had it from the beginning. Let's go ahead and see how accurate I was. 4 ounces. Kind of over-exaggerated the second time, so it's just under 4 ounces. And let's go ahead and get some measurements of this as well. So the total hilt length is about 10.5, almost exactly 10.5 inches. And just to get an idea of the diameter, we've got about 1 3/4 inches at the blade area, and the bottom we've got about 1.5, and at the handle this wraps around to be about 5 inches around. So yeah, really cool design. I can't wait to get this painted. Like I said, there will be a part 2 of my attempt to paint this. I hope I don't ruin it, but let's hope for the best. And let's go ahead and take a look at the second item that was graciously sent to me for this video. Now here is the Stormtrooper F11D blaster rifle. Of course, you can't see it completely assembled, but this is something that blew me away, that I was so happy to see, and it was just incredible that Crafty Nerd not only packaged each individual piece in bubble wrap and tape to ensure that they stay intact, but every piece is labeled. It's just a number, but still, it's a simple label that can make a world of difference, because granted, each piece is pretty different, but you also want to know which piece is which, and they even came with a little guide or blueprint of the design. And this is designed by Hex 3D. Crafty Nerd printed it, and it'll tell you, you know, part 1, part 2, where everything goes. So there is some assembly required, and of course I'm going to paint this one as well. But let's go ahead and unwrap everything and get a look of what the blaster will actually look like. And just like that, movie magic has brought this piece together, taken off all the packaging, and this looks pretty badass. I mean, this thing is so freaking cool. It's not even painted. It's not even fully assembled. All the pieces are loose, but it is looking pretty darn cool already. I'm already super excited to put this together officially, paint it, get things going. I'm not sure if I'm going to paint it individually and then assemble it, or assemble it first and then paint it. Again, I have to watch some tutorials on PLA painting and basics, but everything, like you saw in the packaging, was marked, so I left the stickers on just in case. Everything is different, so I don't think I'll get confused, but just to play it safe, I'm going to leave it like that. Most of the body has these pegs, or what they call connector pins, and the other one will kind of like a male-female, or like a plug and insert, however you want to identify that as. So here is essentially the butt of the blaster. Very, basic design, because it's essentially the exterior of it. Again, very lightweight, so even the whole thing will be super light. The box itself was pretty light to begin with. And these pieces were kind of connected, and as you can see, they do fit in snug, and once you glue it, it'll stay together. So here's the next piece. And yeah, there's the labels for the connector pin as well. These two were connected. That pin was loose for some reason. I'm not sure if they're all supposed to be, but either way, simple glue will put them together. And everything is so clean. I mean, I've seen 3D prints where there's scraps and it's all over the place, and everything is so clean. Like, I'm sure I'll have to sand it down a little bit just to get like the lines and the layers taken out, if you can see all that. And that's just a normal 3D print. And I think just one side has it. The other side, yeah, it's a little bit more flat. So even then, I don't even have to sand the other side. If I'm gonna display only facing this way, then I might just be able to paint it. But I think like this part, this crease will have to go. So I might have to maybe fill it in with putty or sand it down. It's definitely gonna be a learning curve, but I'm more than happy to do it, and I will put in my best effort to get this accomplished. and essentially the trigger. So it fits in my hand well. You know, it's not like I recently got the rubies, which I'm also going to repaint, which will be part of another repaint series. Granted, that is already, the plastic's already ready to be painted, I think, but my hand barely fits on the trigger and the handle. Here, it fits pretty well. Like it's a life-size piece, so. And that's actually when I was unassembling everything, or assembling it, I should say, I thought it was going to be a little bit smaller, but once it's together, you can see just how big it actually is, and everything comes together so nicely. But yeah, folks, that is about it. I mean, I hope I gave you some insight and some information into just how you'll receive and how these 3D printed pieces will look when you get them. And again, you know, I have Ki-Adi-Mundi's lightsaber and the Stormtrooper F11D blaster, both of which will be repainted in a future video. If you do have any questions or comments about these items, feel free to leave them down below. The code for that 20% off will be Crafty Saga. That will be in the bio and the description down below. Please feel free to reach out to Crafty Nerd Design for any type of 3D printing service. At least reach out to ask them if they are able to do so. They are more than accommodating to me. Super friendly service, one of the best customer service I have received in a long time. Make sure to follow me on social media. All my links will be down below. Be sure to subscribe to my channel as well. Stay tuned for part 2 of this video, and stay tuned for more videos in the future. Thank you.